Hey guys, welcome to Collider Movie Talk for movie fans. I'm your host, Ashley Mova, and this is the daily show where we give you all the latest news from the world of movies, put some insight into what it all means. Leading off the show today is Mark Reilly.
Oh my God, welcome everyone to the best movie show on the internet. I'm running point. I can't believe this. I am honored. Our crew is on their way to Orlando for Star Wars Celebration, so here I am. Do not adjust your screens. This is going to be great. Ashley, who else is with me?
Also here is Jon Schnepp.
That's right. I refuse to go to Star Wars Celebration. I just wasn't on that plane. Whatever. You guys have a good time at Star Wars Celebration. We're all going to watch the Last Jedi trailer on our iPhones.
That's right. Yeah.
And all cry together. We're all huddled together like we're in that giant auditorium, like fetal position. Can't wait for it. That's Friday. Live tweets. See you later.
Also here's birthday girl, Clarke Wolfe.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Also not at Star Wars Celebration, but I'm happy to be here with you guys celebrating right here.
Also here is John Rocha.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Ashley. Thanks for that amazing intro.
No.
See this?
Amazing.
See what
John
this is?
Rocha.
That's right. It's Transformers Wednesday. I don't need to be at Star Wars Celebration. I want to be here talking about Transformers. That other trailer dropped on Friday. I don't care about that. Today, Transformers trailer dropped, and it was amazing.
That's right. We will get to this Transformers trailer, but we had some breaking news. Ashley, tell us what it is.
Variety is reporting that Jude Law has been tapped to play young Dumbledore in the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them sequel starring Eddie Redmayne. David Yates is returning to direct with Johnny Depp also on board to star. The film will be the second movie of 5 planned in the Fantastic Beasts franchise and is slated for release on November 16, 2018. Rocha, what do you think about Jude Law as a young Dumbledore?
Oh, I think this is fantastic news. Jude Law is such a great actor. We've seen him take on numerous roles in different genres and just knock it out of the park every time. I don't think I've ever seen a bad Jude Law performance, no matter if the movie was good or not. So this is a great cast. This is almost as good as Ewan McGregor as Kenobi. This is just brilliant casting, in my opinion. And it's obviously, this is way, we're going backwards. This is obviously way before he's headmaster at Hogwarts. He's still serving as the Wizarding School's Transfiguration professor. So and we're going to get his relationship with Grindelwald. This is going to be explored here. Him and Johnny Depp. Are we going to have stuff that's going to be, how deep are we going to go into their relationship? J.K. Rowling came out, it was very clear that Dumbledore is gay. So how much of that is going to be in it? She's already written the second movie, so it'll be interesting to see how much of that is going to be included in this film. What I love is that we're going to be into a darker. We're going to go even darker than we did in this Fantastic Beasts movie, which had some really powerful dark moments. And so to me, this is almost like their Strikes Back type Harry Potter film in this particular series. And I don't know if this is going to be a trilogy, or if they're going to just keep making movies over and over.
5 movies.
It's going to be 5. Okay, so in this, what is it, quintology? I don't know. Anyway, but to see that, so to me, I'm super excited with this casting, and I think Jude Law is going to bring the right amount of weight and power to this character and bring him to life in a way that we haven't seen before. Because don't forget, Richard Harris and Michael Gambon both had separate versions of Dumbledore, so it would be fun to see if Jude Law combines those two or kind of creates his own version of him going forward.
Yeah, I love this casting. Jude Law is one of the best actors working today. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, this came out, literally going over notes this morning, and it was like, here we go. Fantastic Beasts. I'm surprised we're going so fast into the next one. 2018 is when it's scheduled for release, but it makes a lot of sense. Fantastic Beasts cleaned up at the box office, rightly so. I really enjoyed it. I didn't think it was a home run, but I'm looking forward to this because of everything you said, Rocha. We have an interesting relationship bubbling here between Grindelwald and now Dumbledore. I think it's great that Warner Brothers is taking this on head on. So we're going to see that relationship. Maybe it's going to go darker. I can't wait. David Yates is back, so I don't know. Clarke, what do you think about this casting?
Well, I agree. I think it's I think it's great. And Jude Law, I think it's easy to forget because he looks like a leading man, and he's often cast as a leading man. But he, I believe, is one of our greatest character actors. And it's easy to get distracted by his looks, essentially. But so I love the idea of him sort of taking on this the Dumbledore, younger Dumbledore, and making it more of and letting him take on a more character type role. Plus, one of my favorite things about the Harry Potter series is where all these people end up, and you hear the stories about their complicated lives leading up to these points. And Dumbledore was no exception. And so I love the idea of somebody like Jude Law actually getting to play these things out. I think it's going to be complex. I hope it is. And I think Jude Law is perfect for it.
Yeah, what about you, Schnepp?
Yeah, I mean, surprising casting, but Jude Law is a great actor. I'm glad you brought up that he's not just a leading man, but he's also done, even as a leading man, he's done different kinds of roles. Like one of my favorite roles is in David Cronenberg's Existence. If you haven't seen it, check that out.
Nice
I mean, he's
reference.
done so many like kind of off the beaten path roles that him as Youngledore or whatever Baby Door, whatever you call him. He's a lot younger. I don't know if he's going to be rocking a beard or if he's just going to be like, hey, what's up? Like when you first see him and he slowly grows into the beard, So it's exciting news. I think he's a great actor, so it's a good call.
I wonder if they'll cast his sister and his brother, if they're going to go to that area of his life and connect that to Grindelwald as well. Because there's a lot, like you said, Clarke, there's a lot of dark stuff that occurs with Dumbledore. We see him when he's older and he's sweet, and we know this, but there's a lot of like really dark stuff in his past. So it'll be fun to see if they
And we
explore
also
that.
find out that he's capable of keeping these secrets
Yes.
and making these decisions that, yes, he's this sweet old man and, oh, we love Dumbledore.
Right.
But as you get into the Harry Potter series, you find out, oh, maybe Dumbledore, was he all good? It's not a black and white issue,
Right.
is basically what we're saying. And so I like the idea of
I have a
that.
question. I wonder if Jude Law's ability will be able to like bring down Johnny Depp's overacting ability,
How
so they
dare
can
you.
somewhere
How
meet in
dare
the
you.
middle.
Or
you know?
hopefully, though, because I agree with you. Johnny Depp is a little over the top lately. However, I also agree he's a great actor
Yes.
when he shows up. And hopefully, having him go head to head with Jude Law, they'll both rise to the occasion
Right.
and we'll get some great performances. I'd love that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Let's hope we get a Johnny Depp performance that we like and not like over the top like Jack Sparrow is just. Jack Sparrow is seeming to be just kind of, we get it.
It's a cartoon.
He's become a cartoon when he killed it in the original Pirates movie. Gets an
Right.
Oscar nomination for it,
Yeah.
of all things, a Pirates of the Caribbean movie Oscar nomination. So I'm hoping he pulls it back. And then you guys brought up great points. That dynamic between Jude Law and Johnny Depp, that's what's fascinating me. Let's see. But what about you guys over there?
So
Flannel's Corner.
Flannel's
Flannel's
Corner
Corner.
today. I think that we're not going to be haters today on this topic, at least, right?
Yes.
I love Fantastic Beasts. I love the movie. I think it was such a great balance of the Harry Potter that I know. I love Harry Potter, and it was just enough of the old world that I was familiar with and this new world that we're exploring. Jude Law's casting, when I heard about Johnny Depp's, I was really worried because he is very over the top, but I hope that him and Johnny Depp and Jude Law can take a backseat to Eddie Redmayne. So as long as they can find that balance, I think it'll be great. And if anyone can do this, it's Jude Law because he's a great actor.
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked Jude Law. I never imagined that they would actually tap him for this role, so it kind of caught me off guard, and I had to think about it. But I'm into it. I'm curious to see young Dumbledore. I'm curious to see the relationship between him and Grindelwald. And I really hope, like what Schnepp said, is that Johnny Depp can use that as a balance for his he overreaches sometimes, and he becomes this caricature, and I don't feel like Grindelwald is this caricature of a character, So I'm ready. We should have brought our wands today.
We should have. We have these amazing wands. We should have brought them today. It's hard to kind of picture a character that you know, like the younger version of them. But
It's
if
weird.
anyone can do it, it's Jude Law.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I think I know somebody that can get you a wand. I think it's John Rocha. So let me
I
know.
know what you're talking about.
I'll hook you up. I know the guy pretty well. So, all right, let's get into our main topic, the trailer, the big trailer that John Rocha wants to talk about. What is it, Ashley?
Paramount Pictures has released a new trailer for Transformers: The Last Night, the fifth film in the Transformers franchise. Directed by Michael Bay, the trailer expands on its mythology of the Transformers universe by introducing more footage from its medieval backstory, with King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table seemingly working with ancient Transformers. The trailer also introduces more of a rogue Optimus Prime, who is going against his fellow Autobots in order to save his own world. Mark Wahlberg reprises his role from Transformers: Age of Extinction, who will be joined by newcomer Isabela Moner, along with Anthony Hopkins, Stanley Tucci, John Goodman, John Turturro, and Josh Duhamel. Transformers: The Last Night opens in theaters on June 23rd, 2017. Reilly, what do you think of the new trailer for Transformers: The Last Night?
Yep, that was a trailer, all right. If I was in a relationship with the Transformers on Facebook, I would have to put it's complicated. Because if I'm looking at this trailer and there are Knights of the Round Table with Transformers, and the kid in me is like, "Ah!" Okay, but the adult in me goes, screw you, Michael Bay. I'm not falling for this. I am not falling for this. There are a lot of shots in that I'm like, yep, that's Transformers. A lot of stuff like these vistas, these sunsets with the sun in the air and all this stuff. I'm like, this is classic Michael Bay. But then there's all this crazy Transformers actions, lots of explosions, even like knights flying in the air after an explosion that I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, I don't have any faith in this movie. This trailer's good. I'm going to give it that. This trailer is good, but I have zero faith in this Transformers universe that Michael Bay is doing. I think he needs to just walk off into the sunset, let Travis Knight come in, the director of Kubo and the Two Strings, and do that Bumblebee spinoff and give it some fresh blood. Let's see if we can get a really critically acclaimed Bumblebee Transformers movie. Maybe it can softly reboot the universe, get something different for the fans, because I loved the first Transformers. I really did. I didn't mind the third one. Everything else, you guys have heard my rants many, many times on Extinction. It's one of the worst movies of all time. That's why I'm not falling for this, because I feel like Michael Bay keeps going back to the well, just basically saying they're going to show up. He even quoted saying, these movies make $1 billion because kids want to see this movie. That's where I don't have a lot of faith. I don't think he takes it that seriously as far as the mythology, even though he created a writer's room, they created 14 ideas. They have an idea for another spinoff that he is now saying he wants to direct. I would love Michael Bay to go and take on the Bad Boys for Life directing duties, because that has a vacancy right now. Joe Carnahan left that project. Michael Bay, go do that. That's what I want to see, because that's where you shine, my friend. I don't know. And that's what I'd like to see. So I don't know. That's just me. What do you think, Clarke?
I think that this trailer was exhausting.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I don't mean that in a good way. I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean first of all, it feels so long. It's only 3 minutes and 15 seconds, but it just felt, and maybe I'm sure Rocha would probably say that is because it's epic and it is breathtaking, but and then Mark Reilly might say it's because it's bloated and maybe overstuffed.
Yep.
At this point, I will also say I had no idea what was going on. Like, I was watching the trailer. I kind of keep up with these movies on the periphery. I'm not a fan. I'm not anti. But I had no clue what was happening. And so I think that that's actually kind of dangerous, because if you want to encourage a general movie-going audience to come for the summer and have a good time, you don't want them to look at this trailer and go, what the hell is this? I have no idea, and be lost in the film. So there are some beautiful shots in the movie, and there's, that's undeniable. I'm really not trying to be critical of the trailer, but I also think that there are some big problems with it.
I agree with that. How about you, Schnepp? Did it land with you at all? Nope, it didn't. I can see your face.
Well, what was the one that came out before with the dinosaurs? What was that one called?
Age of Extinction.
What are those dinosaurs called?
Dinobots. Dinobots.
Right. And I remember seeing that trailer. Transformers, I was already in college. I was doing other things. So, Transformers doesn't hold that I got a little thing that's a truck or whatever. It's not that wing, 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 wing. That doesn't mean anything to me. It means nothing. So when the movie came out, I was like, oh, cool. Big budget thing I love science fiction and robots. So I was like, cool. Didn't do anything for me. A dog peeing on a Transformer's foot.
Yeah.
Stupid. It was horrible. The first one sucked. The second one sucked. The third one was kind of fun because it was great to see Chicago get destroyed by a bunch of robots. Leonard Nimoy got to say some Star Trek Wrath of Khan quotes, but as a stupid giant robot. The fourth one sucked the worst, and that's the one that I got sucked into because I saw that trailer with all those Dinobots running around and oh my God, they killed the dinosaurs and all this cool. Hey, maybe it's going to be smart. Maybe we're going to add some, something more than bloated special effects and stupid cardboard characters. That didn't happen. I think the fourth one was the dumbest one. It was the biggest, longest Budweiser commercial I've ever seen in my life, and I missed that because I left for 10 minutes because I was so bored in the middle of the movie. So this trailer, it was exciting.
Okay. I get it, yeah. Well, we have to talk to somebody. This is a perfect confluence of events here. The fact that this Transformers trailer dropped when I'm hosting Movie Talk with John Rocha coming. I mean, is this going to be a preview of our Schmodown match? I don't know. John Rocha, what do you think?
Far be it for me to disagree with my very esteemed colleagues here, but you're all insane. This trailer was fantastic. It wasn't bloated, and it wasn't epic. It was amazing beyond the word. Is there a word beyond epic? That's what it was. It goes all over the place.
Awesome-tacular.
Awesome-tacular.
There it is.
Jeremy Johns. Trademark Jeremy Johns.
Boy.
It goes all over the place, which I absolutely loved. I like this idea idea that we're going back into King Arthur. Like, I didn't know there were Transformers at the Knights of the Round Table. That was awesome. So they're all playing this whole thing, which is great, because this is what Michael Bay has done with this whole franchise, is kind of rewritten the mythology, kind of made it topical. Now, does he always hit the mark? No. But for the most part, I've enjoyed these movies because they're just a lot of fun. I don't put a lot of thought into them. I go, get a couple of beers, get nice and toasted, sit inside the theater and enjoy a almost 3-hour movie about robots. You know what I'm saying? Turning into cars and turning back into robots and what have you. But what's interesting, what he's done here with this film is he's picking up where he left off in the last one. Remember, Optimus Prime took off. He left the planet back into space because he wanted to find out who sent Lockdown to take him prisoner in the last film.
I was so bored when this part happened in the fourth movie. I can't remember.
John, you had your time. John, you had your time. You had your time. Go ahead. So when he goes in outer space.
All right, guys, let's keep going.
When he goes in outer space, no, he comes back. And so now he's back. But this is the thing. Now they're starting to tie in stuff from, more effectively, stuff from the TV show, right? We're going to get the quintessons, and that's with that tentacle woman, a female voice rather, that is there asking if he wants to make up for for destroying the planet, because that's Optimus Prime's guilt, huge guilt through the whole time that he carries, is that he destroyed Cyber. He feels like he destroyed Cybertron. So, and quintessons are like these things that were in the original cartoon, the tentacle things that like kind of manipulate you into doing certain things. And so I don't know if we're getting Sharktacons or Alligator Cons. All that stuff is now in play.
Are we getting Unicrons? Because that's what a lot of people told me, is that giant planet. And who's the weird dude with the metal face? You said there's the villain that they showed.
Yeah, it's Megatron.
Right.
That's Megatron.
Well, there's Megatron
making a return.
Yeah, but we've got a bunch of other, like Unicron. Primus is possibility now. Primus is the alter to Unicron. It's the more light planet, and there's the one that speaks and does positive stuff. And so there's all this stuff that's in play right now, and he's messing around with the mythology. I get why people don't like these movies. I totally get it. I'm not stupid or blind to that kind of stuff. But for me, for whatever reason, I just go in there, have a couple of beers, and have a great time.
A lot of people love it. It's $1 billion franchise.
So,
you know?
so it isn't
I'm
just,
definitely in the minority as far as a Transformers hater.
Yeah, it's just not me and 15-year-old boys. So it's, there's other people.
Yeah.
But there is some controversy here, which I thought was interesting, and I didn't know this. And Mark, I think you put this in the notes. They dressed up Winston Churchill's house with Nazi paraphernalia in England. That's dangerous, man. And I know Michael Bay saying, like, people haven't read the script, people love Churchill's a hero in the movie, but still, it's really kind of messing with stuff.
But it could be an alternate timeline where the Nazis won. That's what I mean. It's
it is.
But why do it? Why do it at Churchill's actual house?
That's the comment that people were making, is that it's just kind of like, why would you, of all places, dress Churchill's old house? And then Michael Bay saying, well, if Churchill read the script.
Can we just take a second? If Winston Churchill read my 5th Transformers script, he would Michael Bay.
Kind of ballsy.
Go home, Michael Bay.
Hey, look, it's a giant set piece. And remember, this is a Hollywood movie. They're like, wouldn't it be good? What is it, just going to be a weird flag in a corner of some dingy bathroom? No, they're like, make a big thing and make a big show.
No, and to clarify, I mean, he was just basically saying that if you read the script, you'd understand why we're doing this, and that we're making Churchill out to be a big hero in this movie. I get it, but Michael Bay, look, is there a Transformers for Dummies kind of book I can get, that yellow book? Because the mythology that you're talking about is not apparent in these movies.
Right.
I'm sorry, that they're just glossing over them, and that's my problem with it, because I know how to do it. There are movies that can really do well with mythology, with these writers' rooms, like Marvel does it, Star Wars is doing it right now. DC is trying to do it, and DC is getting better at it. I mean, but these movies just seem like bottom of the barrel. Lots of explosions, lots of robots. Let's throw it out there. And you guys have all brought it up, you can't argue. These movies are now getting more box office as they go. So the last 2 movies crossed $1 billion. Now, that was worldwide, so I get it. Back here at home, domestically, they're kind of going down a little bit, and the critics are saying why. I mean, these movies aren't really landing with a lot of us. But you can't argue with these box office dollars. That's why this is happening. That's why there's going to be 14 other movies happening, 18 spinoffs, and another spinoff with Winston Churchill riding a Dinobot. So, all right.
I do think what you and Clarke said is a good point here. If you guys aren't getting the mythology, then they're not doing an effective job of getting that to people who aren't like knee deep into this stuff. And I get the mythology because I know it, but he scrambles it. So it does. I understand the complaint. It makes sense. But what I'd like
let me ask you quickly. like, since I don't know the mythology,
Yeah.
and I didn't get that from the first four, what you knowing the Transformers cartoon from those first four, not talking about this fifth one, because this fifth one, they have a lot of writers, and they're kind of rebuilding the whole world, so it could actually be complex.
Right.
Who knows? But those first four weren't complex, but you knew what was going on, and was it enough odes to the cartoon for you? Or
Well, it
the
was enough
toys?
odes to the actual mythology, the comic books as well, and the action figures and all those things. There's enough there, and as well, that you could latch onto. But then he kind of like does this, right? And this is what can be, I think, difficult with supporting the movies as much as I do, is I get when he does this, it does bother me too. But he does enough of this that I can stay connected to it.
You were talking in like
and enjoy
hand
it.
hieroglyphs, man.
Yeah,
What
sorry.
is this?
Well,
What
to
is-
me, this is falling off the track.
Okay,
And so he
got
goes,
it.
instead of going up, he goes down. And I get that. But I do like that this film has kind of going back to the original film, the 2007 film. You're having the young lead kind of having her pet transformer, which is what people enjoyed about the first film, Shia LaBeouf and his relationship with Optimus Prime. This seems to be happening with Isabela Moner and Bumblebee. So there we
All
go.
right. Well, we've talked enough about Transformers. We have a packed show, so let's
Sorry.
move on, guys. But we do have a trailer reaction coming at you. We have Wendy Lee and Grace Hancock. They are reacting to the trailer. It's going to be up soon, so check that out. Ashley, what do we have next?
In a new interview with MTV, Dwayne Johnson was doing the press rounds for the upcoming Fate of the Furious when talk turned to his upcoming role as Black Adam in the DCEU. Last January, a report surfaced that Warner Brothers was considering splitting Shazam into two movies, one focusing on Black Adam and one focusing on Shazam. In the interview, The Rock confirmed that was indeed the case, saying, "What we decided to do was actually create a scenario where Black Adam is having his standalone movie, Captain Marvel / Shazam will have his standalone movie, and then we're building our world up that way. And then we can come together at some other point. We have a surprise for Black Adam coming up. I can't tell you what it is, but it's gonna be fucking awesome." Schnepp, what do you think the surprise for Black Adam is based on The Rock's comments?
The Rock can do no wrong. I saw Fate and the Furious yesterday, and him and Jason Statham steal that show. That's a big, bloated, stupid movie. It's dumb, but the only good scenes in it are The Rock and Jason Statham in every action scene that they're in. I don't know what it is about The Rock. He just sells it, the way he does the looks, the eyes, the way he's just such a fun actor to follow that in any movie, even if he's in a garbage film, it's fun to watch. So, that he's going to play Black Adam, we've heard this for a couple of years now, and they're trying to sort it out. We've heard like a lot of different announcements from the DC cinematic universe. Black Adam seemed like a weird one. Well, isn't he the villain of Shazam? Wouldn't you announce Shazam first? And now they're splitting it into two movies. Like, why is he getting his own movie? It's still weird to me. I don't know what they're going to be doing. I've never read the Black Adam comic book because there doesn't exist. So it's a weird decision when there's all these other, like, can you make the Batman movie first before you make Black Adam? It doesn't make any sense to me, but the rumors Reilly was talking about, like, on Reddit and a bunch of stuff, like, maybe he's going to show up in the Man of Steel movie, which they still haven't announced that sequel either. So maybe, or better yet, maybe Superman will be in Black Adam, right? And as opposed to, we're not going to make Man of Steel. Henry Cavill will cameo as Superman. I was like, why doesn't he get a sequel? It's kind of weird. I don't get it.
Schnepp, I thought Superman was dead.
That's right, Clark. Superman is dead. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Superman is obviously dead. No, come on. We know that Superman will be back. Man of Steel 2, we're hearing Matthew Vaughn is up for the director's choice. I don't buy the Reddit rumor. Like, look, that Reddit is a place that is just infested with rumors. So until I hear an actual announcement from DC that Black Adam is going to be the villain of Man of Steel 2, I don't want that. I think they need to go Brainiac. I think they need to bring in some big names for a Man of Steel 2 sequel. But as far as Black Adam, in The Rock, I trust. I really do. I love The Rock. He is so much fun in every movie he does. How is he going to fit, that's my question, Black Adam into his now newly announced Jungle Cruise, Skyscraper, this crazy die-hard movie that he has coming up, Rampage that he's beginning filming at the end of the year. So there's so much. I don't know what this Black Adam announcement's going to be, but Rocha, what do you think about all this?
Well, Reilly, you bring up a great point. I've said this over and over again on Movie Talk. He is the Black Ryan Seacrest. He just does everything. He's now producing this awesome soundtracks documentary on CNN. Like, Dwayne Johnson is everywhere, and I like that because this guy is critic proof, and I think that's why they want to go with him with this Black Adam movie, because everything he does is gold. And John, I echo what John said. I loved him in Fast 8, Fate of the Furious, whatever it's called. He was great in that. He's great. He's fun to watch in everything he does, and he's gotten better as an actor. He really has come a long way. If you watch, a lot of people haven't seen Hitch. Go see Hitch. Him and John Bernthal have fantastic chemistry in them. Oh, not Hitch. What is it? Snitch or something like that.
I like him in Faster.
Sorry. Faster, yeah, great with him and Statham as well. Isn't that? Are they both together in that? Is that him?
I don't think he's.
Oh no, it's
yeah.
Billy Bob. It's Billy
Yeah.
Bob. Yeah, so great stuff. But either way, he's great in all these films, and he's fun to do. And I think this is DCEU knows that they're having trouble with rolling out these movies, and there's controversy around Batman, controversy around Justice League, some controversy around Wonder Woman. They want to jump off in with someone who is kind of controversy proof, and The Rock kind of is. And so I get your point, Reilly. Brainiac, all these other bigger villains is the right, and they're kind of going backwards, aren't they, by introducing the villain and doing a villain movie before the hero movie. So it's kind of weird how they're doing this, but I think they're trying to just kind of do one thing that doesn't have any problems. And I would argue a little bit that the Reddit stuff is as reliable as the DC stuff, because one second they're like, this is the director. Oh, wait, no, it's not. This is what we're doing. Wait, no, we're doing 4 other. No, this is. So it's like, it's just as unreliable as DC seems to be nowadays.
Yeah, well, Clarke, what do you think? Do you think 2 movies work, and should it be The Rock first with Black Adam and then Shazam?
I have no idea. I
Yeah.
don't pretend to understand the game plan. But I do want to say, echoing what the panel said, I love The Rock as well. And let's not forget that for Shazam, David F. Sandberg from Lights Out,
yeah.
and upcoming Annabelle creation. Clearly, WB and New Line are happy with him, and putting him and pairing him with The Rock, or if The Rock shows up in Shazam, that's great. So I think this is a big case of wait and see. We just
Right.
got to wait and see. But if The Rock is, I think one thing we do need to pay attention to is if The Rock is passionate about it, it's gonna get done, and it's gonna get done well.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a great sign.
That's a great sign for me as well. So now we get to buy or sell. You guys know what buy or sell is. Ashley, what's our first buy or sell?
Sony has released a new trailer for Edgar Wright's Baby Driver. The film stars Ansel Elgort as Baby, a getaway driver who suffers from a hearing impairment that requires him to listen to music in order to drown out the humming noise. When he falls for a local waitress, played by Lily James, he sees the chance to break free of his life of crime, but first must make a getaway from crime boss, played by Kevin Spacey. The film opens on June 28th and also stars Jon Bernthal, Isaac Gonzalez, John Hamm, and Jamie Foxx. Rocha, buy or sell the new international trailer for Baby Driver?
Oh, I love this trailer. And I liked the first trailer that focused more on the romance between Lily Adams and Ansel Elgort. So to me, I like this trailer. I get it. It's fast-paced. They're trying to be funny and quirky and all these kinds of things. And these kinds of movies are my kinds of movies. I love the misunderstood loner who lives by his own credo and meets that one girl who understands him, and he's willing to sacrifice his life for her or do whatever he needs to do. There's a nobility in those kinds of movies that I really enjoy watching, especially something like Drive. I thought, what's-his-face did a fantastic job with that. Ryan Gosling did a fantastic job with that. I hope that's not a Schmodown question. It's interesting because this is, like I said, this is a completely different vibe than the previous trailer, which focuses on the love story. But he's realizing he's got to change. Like, he's got to do something different. I like this whole idea that he has to listen to music. Like, this really got me. And it's Edgar Wright. I mean, Edgar Wright rarely goes wrong. So I didn't mean to say it like that. But yeah, it's so good to me. It gives me back into the different type of movie, and it makes me like excited to see where this can go. My only complaint is Lily is a lead actress. She's proven herself in Cinderella. Even Pride and Prejudice, I enjoyed the Zombies movie. I enjoyed her in that. So for her playing like the damsel in distress or the kind of side thing, that bothers me a little bit. I think Lily should be more prevalent in this in the trailers and in the film. And so to me, that's the only problem I have. But I do love Jamie Foxx going back to that playful stuff that he can do well, and John Hamm and Jon Bernthal. That's to me, this is a good cast.
Well, in Edgar Wright, I trust, just like The Rock. Edgar Wright, for me, has hit it out of the park in almost every movie I've seen, Shaun of the Dead being my favorite. But this, he picked this up right after he left Ant-Man. I'm glad he did. This trailer did it for me. There's not a lot for me to say about it. It gets me. It gets me excited. The music, there was that moment where he's like, hold on, I got to start over again. Yeah. And that was just a great break in the trailer, and that's just an indication that we're going to get this, Edgar Wright has that tempo in his head, and it transfers on screen in such a wonderful way. This seems a little different. We're not getting a revisit to the Coronado trilogy. We've gotten that. I wonder if he'll ever revisit those, like Simon Pegg, Nick Frost characters again, but This seems great. Clarke, what did you think about this trailer?
Love the trailer and heard nothing but great things about it from all of the festivals thus far, and that's hard to do. A lot of times the first festival comes and goes, people love it, they go out of their minds for it, and then the second festival comes and people go, okay, well, maybe not so much, or I didn't like this or whatever. But the reviews have been really solid across the board, and that's great. I'm a huge fan of Edgar Wright. I love his work. I love his style. I love his sensibilities across the board. But to echo what Rocha said, I do agree about Lily James, and but we haven't seen the movie yet.
Yeah.
So
Right.
we don't know. But I do think one thing that I would like to see from Edgar going forward: keep that style, keep that panache, keep the jokes, keep the heart. But I would love to see him maybe delve a little deeper into some of his female characters, because I've seen all of his movies, and those are kind of the weakest link in all of them. And that doesn't mean I don't love the movies and don't enjoy them, but I think as a filmmaker, it'd be great to see him grow a little bit and still be able to do the cool things that he does.
Clarke, that's an amazing point. I would love to see that as well, because if you look at what he's done in the past with Simon Pegg, wouldn't it be great to see a strong female character with that weirdness behind Simon Pegg?
Even not a strong female character. She can be a
Quirky,
messy female character.
messy,
She can be a weak female character.
flawed, whatever,
a
but-
central character.
Right.
Well, look at Simon Pegg, the Shaun of the Dead. I know I keep talking about this, but his arc, there is an arc in a zombie movie.
Absolutely.
You know, by the end, he becomes the hero because he's a guy that sits around and doesn't, get up and do things. And it would be interesting to see a female character that might not have it together, get it together by the end through the lens of Edgar Wright.
Well, and sorry, one more thing to add to that. Just when you look at this cast, this cast is insane. It's
Yeah.
so good, and everybody looks great in it. But there are like no girls in it.
Yeah.
I mean, so I would like to
Right.
see. I would like to see them more, even in smaller parts. Like more character-driven stuff. I think that'd be great.
Well, I think, when I was first introduced to Edgar Wright, it was through a TV series called Spaced. And
Yeah.
Spaced is one of my favorite TV series of all time. It's only like 2 seasons. But it was written by Simon Pegg and Jessica Hines. It was created by them.
Yeah,
so it's
that's
written
right.
by a woman. A woman is a lead actress, lead character, just alongside with Simon Pegg. And Edgar Wright directed all of them. And that's where that trio really shined. And I think the Cornetto trilogy, Scott Pilgrim, we got a bunch of other films from Edgar Wright that are lacking that. You're right. Strong female characters. And I would love to see him team up with another female writer and do a female-centric film. I think that you're absolutely right, because when that happens, that magic is there. Not that it's not there now. I haven't seen Baby Driver, and I don't know what the relationship is between Baby and the waitress that Lily's playing. Maybe that is a central part of the movie. But I'm looking forward to the film, this trailer. Just once again, I don't need to be sold to see an Edgar Wright film. I was planning on seeing it the minute I heard about it. So when I see the trailers, I'm like, all right, cool. It looks really fun. It looks like this and that. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, the first trailer kind of was central to that relationship between those two characters, so maybe that is the movie with everything kind of secondary playing up that part. So hoping, and we'll see it soon. I can't wait to see it. So, all right, Ashley, what do we have next?
Universal Pictures has unveiled a new trailer for the upcoming Charlize Theron action movie Atomic Blonde. Directed by John Wick co-director and future Deadpool 2 helmer David Leitch, the movie finds Theron as a lethal MI6 assassin who is sent to Berlin to deliver a dossier, only to become caught up in a web of espionage and intrigue that's as complex as it is deadly. The film also stars Sofia Boutella, James McAvoy, John Goodman, Eddie Marsan, and Toby Jones. Atomic Blonde opens in theaters on July 28th. Clarke, buy or sell the new trailer for Atomic Blonde?
I guess none of us bought or sell that last trailer. I guess
I
we
think
all
we all-
buy it.
yeah, we kinda all
buy
bought
I
it,
suppose.
yeah.
Okay, this one, I have mixed feelings about this trailer. I loved the first half of it. And also, this is another movie that really got people talking out of South by Southwest. I believe they showed some trailer footage or some more footage at CinemaCon. But I don't know. I don't know how I felt about the second half of this trailer. Some of the content just kind of felt like it was, I don't know, not handled in a way that maybe I would like to see it handled. But Charlize Theron is a powerhouse. Charlize Theron is an A-list actress, and Charlize Theron is not going to do anything she doesn't want to do. And she looks like she's owning this role. I'm curious to see how it plays out. The supporting cast is fantastic. I'm really like divided on if I buy it or sell it at this point. So I abstain.
Do you want to, this is my favorite thing to do on movie type, lease with an option to buy? Not
I'm
okay.
gonna think about it a little more.
All right.
I'm gonna leave the dealership and come back. I was just gonna say.
Okay, that's fine. I can take that.
I can make changes on the package. Do you mean changes?
I'm just gonna need to think about
What
it.
if I add the Bluetooth and the CD player and the moonroof? No? Okay. I buy the trailer personally. I really liked it. I think it looks fantastic. Makes sense that it's coming from a John Wick co-director. A lot of people are calling this Atomic Wick.
Yeah.
Again, lots of trailers. They throw a lot at you. I don't need to see more. I'm buying this trailer. It looks great. I love Charlize Theron kicking ass. This looks great. There was a lot of great action scenes. One that stuck with me was that she sticks her hands in the ice and pulls the gun out. That's just cool spy stuff for me. I just love that kind of so I'm in. I don't know. Schnepp, did you like it? Buy or sell? I'm buying it. Clarke is not. She's walking
Abstaining.
away. She's abstaining. Do you buy this?
Female Wick, I buy it.
All
You know
right.
what? It was fun. I like the first trailer. I like this trailer. I love Charlize Theron. She could do no wrong. She's another part of Fate. Fate and the Curious, whatever the hell the thing is called.
Fate of the Curious. Yeah.
Rock, Jason Statham, and her. Outstanding performance. The rest of the movie, jumping the submarine right after Fonzie jumped that shark. I dare you to watch the movie. Anyway,
they will.
Atomic Blonde. It looks like a lot of fun. It looks like a lot of action, weird set pieces with people's heads exploding, dome shots. It's just like John Wick, female John Wick. But I mean, I see what you're saying about some of the elements, how they showed some of the story. I don't know if the story is gonna keep hearing that style over substance thing, but it feels like this isn't going to be a Ghost in the Shell, where it's literally an empty movie, except it looks really beautiful. I feel like there might be a little more gritty kind of backstory to this. Wait and see. I can't wait to see it, so I'm buying it.
Yeah, well, in the write-up on Collider.com, they did mention some of the reviews from South by Southwest that it's mixed. They're saying style over substance. I'm wondering if that's what you're feeling, Clarke.
No, if I'm gonna just call it out, I'm uncomfortable with the way they presented this sexuality.
Okay.
This is like this shows me like, hey, look, you've got this super awesome Lady Wick, right? Here she is. Oh, but also she's gonna have to make out with a girl, and she's like naked, and all the red lights, and all this, and I'm just like. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like the first half I was like, yes, and then I was like, oh, cool.
So I wonder if that has anything to do with the plot.
I don't know. And again, like, look, Charlize Theron is an A-lister. Charlize Theron is not going to sign up for some bullshit thing where she's being exploited. She's her own woman. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying the way it was presented in the trailer made me uncomfortable.
Got it. How about you, Rocha? Buy or sell?
Oh, well, the question is, do I buy or sell the trailer? I buy the trailer. I do, but I get Clarke's points. And because what you brought up, John, the reviews that were kind of mixed coming out, that second half of the trailer feels a little slightly disjointed. It lets you be like, well, wait, you've given me this through line here at the beginning, and then all of a sudden we're doing this and we're doing that. Now, I don't mind the section. I get where you're coming from, Clarke. I don't mind. I think it's she's
I'm
an
sure
assassin.
you don't mind it.
No, well, not in that way. I mean, more she's an assassin in a secret. We see this all the time with James Bond. James Bond does the same thing, sleeps with a shit ton of women in all those
He
movies.
doesn't
trying
sleep with
to
a
get
shit
to-
ton of dudes.
No, he doesn't. Right. Oh, I see your point. So you have an
Yeah.
issue with her being bisexual?
No. I have an issue with the way that it appears to be fetishized.
Like they're maybe using
fair.
that
But I
to
don't
sell
know
the
because I
movie.
have not seen the
Right.
There
movie.
is a great point, because
But-
if they're using that to sell this
Yeah.
movie rather than the story, again, I go immediately to it has to serve the story.
Okay.
Don't fool us.
Well, right. And my thing is, I didn't get from that I didn't get the vibe. I was like, oh yeah, let me, that turns me on. It was more a matter of that shows her power. She's in control in every situation you see her in. Even in that situation with Sofia Boutella, she is the one driving that sexual situation. So to me, it just layers her. It just builds more foundation of what
She's
her
gonna be
character
like, call me mummy.
hey, I get that reference.
But but like Clarke said, she's an A-list actress. I'm such a massive fan of Charlize Theron. What John said, true, I agree. She's great in Fast and Fate of the Furious. This trailer is gritty. It's sexy. It's fun. Has action sequences that are on point. And some of those reviews are saying that. But like to me, I just want to cheer Charlize Theron to be in these fantastic action films because she is built to be an action movie. She's so good at them. The problem is the films themselves haven't always hit the mark. From Aeon Flux to Mighty Joe Young to Hancock, like all these films don't quite
She
get there.
killed it in Fury Road.
Yeah,
you know?
I was just about to say, but she does do great work in Mad Max, Fury Road, and in The Italian Job. She's fantastic in that as well. So I just want them to make better movies for her that she can shine in action because there's so few women that get a shot in Hollywood to be leads in action films. I want all their films to be good so we can kill that stupid-ass argument once and for all. Male or female, make me a damn good movie and a damn good lead, and we'll enjoy it. It doesn't matter. And so to me, that's why I cheer for her. And she's so good in everything she does that I just want this film to be good. So I buy the trailer, absolutely.
All right, well, we're going to find out on July 28th when it's released. Let's go to our next buy or sell. What do we have, Ashley?
We're less than a month away from the release of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which means Disney is getting aggressive with its marketing campaign. Proving that comes yet another TV spot for the movie directed by James Gunn that focuses on siblings Gamora, Zoe Saldana, and Nebula, Karen Gillan, as Nebula takes on a larger role in this follow-up film. The film also stars Chris Pratt, Dave Bautista, Bradley Cooper, Vin Diesel, Kurt Russell, Michael Rooker, Elizabeth Debicki, and Pom Klementieff. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 opens in theaters on May 5th. Reilly, buy or sell the new TV spot for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2?
Yeah, I buy it. Absolutely. I'm about to sell, though, your marketing campaign, Disney. Stop showing me everything. You're doing this every Marvel movie. You did it with Force Awakens. I get it. The movie looks amazing. Okay, you're showing me a lot, and the reason I do buy this, that I like about it, is that we're getting a little bit of the relationship between Gamora and Nebula, and that seems to be a through line for the actual movie is family, because we have Star-Lord's dad with Ego the Living Planet with Kurt Russell. So that's the thematic through line that I think James Gunn is going for, which I really dig. I like everything that I'm seeing. I didn't really like the joke about the Guardians and Garden.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little too on the come on. It's like I think Zoe, my niece, made that joke once. So I don't need those obvious jokes. I just want this movie to be fantastic. It looks fantastic. Just pump the brakes, Marvel campaign. I get it. The movie's very close. They're going to release probably more TV spots, but that's just me. That's my opinion. How about you, Clarke? Did you buy or sell this?
Big buy.
Nice.
Big buy. No, don't need to leave the lot for this one.
Right. I like it.
And,
I wanted you to buy something on your birthday.
I'm buying it. And I'm very excited to see my favorite Guardians of the Galaxy. That's Gamora, Rocket, Drax, Star-Lord, and Groot.
Yes. Oh, Clarke.
Thank you very much.
That's a schmoedown,
I buy it. I buy it across the board. I love James Gunn. I love this family, and I'm on board.
How about you, Schnepp?
I buy it too. James Gunn was talking about how Thanos is not going to be in this movie, but he didn't say anything about his daughters. So they're both his daughters. So it's whatever happens between them, I think will advance a little bit of the plot, even if you don't see Thanos or talk about the Gauntlet or Infinity, anything that's going to move things forward. I actually like the corny joke. I want to see. I would actually buy a Guardians of the Galaxy poster if it just had Nebula's face on it. It would be amazing.
And Groot.
It's a Groot spinoff, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Little small Groot. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it. And
trailer.
it seems like they were Rocket and Drax kind of react to it oh, that's stupid. So if that's what it is, great. How about you, Rocha?
I bought the spot. I'm such a fan of Zoe Saldana and Karen Gillan, especially Karen Gillan coming off of Doctor Who. I even watched her TV series with Jon Cho. I'm just anything she's in, I like to watch her in, and I think this is a great new side of her as an actress to play this kind of part. So I thought she stood out really well in the first Guardian. So I'm happy they're giving her more to do, and they're playing off they have great chemistry, those two. They have great back and forth. So to me, it makes me excited. I'm with you. I didn't like the Gardens joke that much, just like I didn't like that opening Deadpool thing, the Logan. It makes me worried a little bit for the sequel, but we'll see what happens. The look of it and the playfulness and the cuts all work for me, so I do buy the 30-second spot.
Well, there you go. We all buy. That's a big one. Let's go to our last buy or sell topic. Ashley, what do we have?
Our very own Perry Nemiroff was able to sit down for an all-encompassing interview with Guillermo del Toro for the newly returned Collider Nightmares hosted by Clarke Wolfe. When during the chat, the Hellboy and Pacific Rim director revealed he had a general Star Wars meeting with Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy and Industrial Light and Magic's chief creative officer John Knoll. Del Toro was very cautious with his words because of the way a Star Wars headline can be created over one comment, but he did finally relent with some details, stressing there isn't any deals or active negotiations in place, he said. Saying all that caveat, I will say there's some characters that are great, and I have talked to Kathleen Kennedy and John Knoll about ideas. Clarke, buy or sell Guillermo del Toro ever doing a Star Wars movie, or do you think he'll stick to more of his own original projects?
I love Guillermo. He's my favorite living director. I admire him for everything that he does. Even some of the things where there are misses, I admire them. I think they're big, brave, awesome misses. But I sell Guillermo doing a Star Wars movie because I want more content that is coming directly from the mind of Guillermo del Toro. I want original work from him. And by the way, the idea that Guillermo met with the people at Lucas, or to make a Star Wars movie. Well, yeah, every major director is taking a meeting with Lucasfilm. So I want to see Guillermo put his spin on Pinocchio. More than I want to see him put his spin on this, or The Witches, or The Shape of Water, which is coming out later this year. I mean, any little things that are swirling around in his head. That's what I want to see. And I think Guillermo is also at a point in his life and his career where he's only working on things that he loves and cares about. And so those are the things that I want to see him doing.
I couldn't agree with you more, Clark. And I know I'm a Star Wars nut. And I was in the room when he started talking about Star Wars, and I just perked up. But yeah, everybody's like, when Disney bought Lucasfilm, they probably called in every director, A-list director working in the business today, to see if they had any ideas to kind of shape their universe. Where are they going to go? So they probably talked to Guillermo, and Guillermo had some ideas, probably very Guillermo-y ideas set in the Star Wars universe, which is really great to think about as a Star Wars nerd. But I'm with you, Clark. I want a Pan's Labyrinth. I want his, I know Crimson Peak didn't land. It didn't land for me, but man, A for effort, and I want whatever's in his mind. I cannot wait for The Shape of Water. That is going to be a fantastic movie because that's straight up Guillermo del Toro. That's where I think he belongs. I would love to see that. I'm glad he didn't do Pacific Rim 2. I think it was smart to move away from that and just produce it. That's where he shines, at least for me. How do you feel, Schnepp?
Well, I mean, I feel a little bit of both ways. I mean, this isn't a buy or sell, right?
Yeah.
It is a buy or sell.
Damn.
Do you buy him ever doing a Star Wars movie?
I do buy him doing a Star Wars movie.
Okay.
Why? Because, I mean, not only does he do his own original things like Kronos and Pan's Labyrinth, but he also does adaptations. He did Hellboy, he did Blade.
Yeah.
I mean, half of the body of his work is other people's work that he's adapting.
good
Why
point.
not see him take a Guillermo turn on Star Wars? He was talking about Jabba the Hutt and how he's like, he looks like me. I am Jabba. I would love to see a Jabba the Hutt, Godfather trilogy by Guillermo del Toro. I'm in. Start making that tomorrow. I'll buy everyone a ticket. I would think, well, I won't do that, but I'm really excited about sometime in the next 15 years, him taking a crack at Star Wars, even doing a one-shot. Who knows if they're going to do a series? Who knows if Netflix will have like a special anthology series where a director gets to rotate in and you get a 1-hour special from Guillermo, you get a 1-hour special. What would Scorsese do in the Star Wars universe? Let's think about that. Let's get outside of the box. I mean, Netflix has an unlimited amount of money. They just do. That's the new paradigm. Forget about movies, really. It's like the new paradigm is streaming. So it's like that's where all the money is. That's where the freedom to make cool things is. So I would see Guillermo doing an incredible 1-hour Jabba Godfather thing.
If Guillermo does a Godfather trilogy with Jabba the Hutt, I take it back. I buy that. There you go.
Yeah, it's funny because Guillermo said in our interview, he's like, every time I say something Star Wars, it becomes a headline. Well, looks like this became a headline. I know a lot of people picked up on the meeting, but he did stress there are no negotiations. He's not attached to anything. This is just, again, a general meeting. But I love the fact that he spoke to Yahoo last year about, he said, I have Godfather Jabba the Hutt. Yeah, that's batshit crazy. Of course I would watch that, but I stand by my idea that he should just continue doing what he's doing because that's where I love my Guillermo del Toro. You were in the room too with us watching this, Rocha. What do you think about this?
I was struggling to hold back tears. The man is so beautiful. Like, he really is. I don't know what to tell you. Like, he is just such a ball of warmth. You can't believe the horror that comes out of him because he's such an incredible, just this burst of energy. Sun. He's a burst of sun. And when you're a creative person, you're around someone like that who's successful at what he's doing, and he's pure about it. There's no airs or nothing. You just kind of go along on the ride with him. And when he started talking about the rise and fall of Jabba the Hutt, I lost my damn mind because just picturing what he could could do with something like that, with his attention to storytelling, his attention to detail, his creation of worlds. And I think if Star Wars is going to survive in the future, and I think it's great now what's happening. I loved Rogue One, Force Awakens. I'm looking forward to what they're going to do. But you've got to expand the universe with other voices, other people. The universe already, the extended universe is so expansive. Once they start putting in more and more elements into the canon, you're going to have to hire directors that can really bring those things out. You can't just have the same thing over and over again. And I think someone like Guillermo, as John pointed out, he has adapted other properties and been successful at it. So why not? It just would be interesting to see what he could do with it. And I would trust that movie 1,000%. I think that's in his wheelhouse. And with the protective force field, so to speak, that he would have under Disney, under the Star Wars, under Kathleen Kennedy, I think he would thrive under that, even more so than he does in his other movies. But yes, agreed. Also, Mark, his original stuff. This is a man that needs to create his original stuff. When you listen to the interview, and go watch it if you haven't, he talks about the 10-year journey of box trolls, 10-year journey of troll hunters.
Yeah.
And so that's just lets you know that when he loves something, he will pursue it to the nth degree because it's from him, you know?
I agree with that as well. I would watch a movie if it happened,
Yeah.
you know? How could you argue with that? But all right, guys, you bring up a good point, Rocha. That interview with Guillermo del Toro is up in its entirety on Collider Video, as well as a brand new Heroes, which dropped yesterday. That went live with Jon Schnepp. Also, Nightmares. It came back last week, so have you guys seen it yet? That's where you could also see little clips of the Guillermo del Toro interview. That was great. And we also interviewed, you guys interviewed Ethan Embry for the,
Devil's Candy.
Thank you, Devil's
Which
Candy.
is awesome. Go watch
Which
it.
I need to see that.
It's really good.
And of course, guys, the whole crew right now is in Orlando. They're heading there right now. So go to our Twitter. We have a pinned tweet. You can see that schedule right now. They're going to have a meet and greet. There's going to be a Jedi Council. And there's going to be a Schmodown, a special Schmodown Star Wars edition. A 5-way. Can you believe it, Rocha?
For the belt.
Can you believe
For a
it?
Star Wars belt.
For a Star Wars belt, which I want that as well. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. Well, Clark, no.
I
Clark,
don't
no
want
Star
that
Wars
belt.
belt?
I'm okay.
How about you,
guys
Schnepp?
You guys have that belt.
You guys can have that.
Okay.
Oh, okay, scumability.
Yeah.
All
Which,
right.
which
That's
brings
right.
up,
You should be going to this. This is a very secret scum and villainy science fiction Star Wars style bar. Check it out. Look it up. It's in Hollywood right now for the next 2 months. I went. It was a lot of fun.
I know, I missed that. But
No, it's 2 months. You can go.
Okay.
It's still going.
Oh, I got to go then. But that brings up a good point. The Schmodown. We have a big Schmodown coming up. It is the free-for-all. This free-for-all is happening on Friday. We are dropping it on Friday. Every competitor, a lot of competitors, are going to be coming out, and they're looking for a chance. The winner will take on the champ, whoever the champ may be, holding that belt. That's going to be huge. There's about 35, how many, like 40, 80 competitors? I have no idea. But we do have a promo video up right now on Collider Video. Check that out. I think the Outlaw is here to say something about this free-for-all.
Mark Reilly,
Oh, boy.
you're ridiculous.
Oh,
Whoever
boy.
the champ may be, the champ is going to be me, like
Okay.
always, for the next foreseeable future. You might as well just bank on it. Mark
Okay.
Reilly, you can try. I want to see how you're going to do in this free-for-all. I want to see anybody. And I'll tell you, it's 35 people. I know because I scout my competition. 35 people. I know, and I'm going to watch all of them fall to me. 34 people are going to fall to the Outlaw. And I'm going to come out of that, and I'm going to go for the tag team belts, the Inner Geekdom belt, the Star Wars belt, the Transformers belt. You create a belt, I want it. JCPenney's belt. I'm going to take your belt right now, Reilly. I just want belts and all the records. So you all better tune in and watch what the Outlaw does, that free-for-all. Watch what Mark Reilly does in the free-for-all. Unfortunately, Clarke Wolfe wasn't able to be part of it, but I'm sure she would have kicked ass as well. But look. Come get it.
There it
Come
is.
get it.
That's right. Whoever wins, and we don't know because we do have a match. Me and my friend Rocha disappeared, and the Outlaw's there.
Yeah.
Yodi and the Outlaw. We're gonna go at it
Yeah.
for that belt, and then whoever might win that free for all could then come after the belt. Winner takes all. I
I'm
guess.
cheering for you against the Outlaw. He's out of control.
Yeah, he's out of control. The Outlaw.
I
It
don't
is.
want the Outlaw to take my belt because my pants will fall off.
Everybody watch out. Everybody in the studio, watch out for your belts, all right? All right, guys, we're running out of time, so we're going to skip mailbag, but don't worry. It's a great question. I'm going to bring it up tomorrow's show, but let's go right to your live Twitter questions. Wendy, what do we have on Twitter?
This one's a bit of a downer, but I thought it was important to ask. James Thomas Bethia writes, thoughts on the passing of Charlie Murphy?
Yeah.
I just saw
Yeah.
that.
What?
Yeah, guys.
Leukemia.
From
Yeah,
leukemia.
leukemia.
Oh,
It just was
man.
announced that Charlie Murphy, the older brother of Eddie Murphy, passed away
my
due to
God.
complications of leukemia. I mean, this is a character actor. Actually, somebody who showed up in a lot of Spike Lee movies, Harlem Nights, Mo Better Blues, obviously. What else? Players Club, Jungle Fever. God, it sucks.
Chappelle's show is where
Yeah.
I'll always think of him in the Charlie Murphy stories.
Chappelle's show
Prince.
Yep.
I mean, that's some of those. I mean, I can watch that again and again. I just watched that exact thing like 3 months ago. Sorry to hear about that.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
horrible
literally
news.
just hearing about this. That's horrible. I'm so sorry for him and his family.
Yeah.
It's a real bummer. I had no idea he was suffering from leukemia. I had no idea. So this is a blow.
Well, he was only 51 years old too, and the shame of it all is this is a man who, like, when you have a famous sibling, it's really hard to step out of that shadow.
Yeah.
And Charlie was able to do it on his own terms. You know, he's no Frank Stallone or Don Swayze or whatever these guys are. Charlie made he was at times funnier than Eddie, and so I loved seeing him on the Chappelle show all the time. Whenever he'd show up in movies, he was always a joy to watch. So and there's no controversy around Charlie. Charlie just did his work, was very funny, and all the stuff that he did. So it's a shame to lose such. I always think it's sad when a comedian dies too early because the world needs as much laughter as possible, especially nowadays.
Yeah, well, my thoughts to his family as well. May you rest in peace. It's a bummer to hear. Let's do one more Twitter question because we are running out of time. Wendy, do we have anything? Did I give you enough time?
I got one more. This one comes from Nolan Dean, who writes, do you think we could see a young Tom Riddle as a character in the Fantastic Beasts series, and who would you cast?
It's a great question, and I think we're inevitably going to go there. If we have 5 movies in Fantastic Beasts, we're going to get a young Tom Riddle, i.e., a young Voldemort, he who shall not be named.
We don't say his name.
Do we not say his name? I just said it. What if I say it 3 more times?
Voldemort.
Well, he's not Candyman.
And then
Michael
Beetlejuice,
Keaton.
too.
Michael Keaton should play him.
Yeah, right?
A young Voldemort.
That's a good question. I don't know. There's nobody that's jumping off the top of my head. How about some Harry Potter flavor here? Anybody have any ideas?
Get that
Clarke,
kid who played, who's playing Baby in Baby Driver, the Divergent
Ansel
kid.
Elgort.
Oh yeah.
Ansel Elgort would actually be a great. That would be fun to see because he's starting to seems like he's breaking out of his kind of YA stuff with The Fault in Their Stars and coming into Baby Driver. He might be a good.
What about? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, go for it.
What about Dane DeHaan?
Oh,
I mean,
great
he's-
Nope.
choice, Clark.
No.
Yep. No. Call it off. That's what I want. That's a great call. Yeah, Clark's like, no.
No, I'm
No,
sorry.
that is a great call. Dane DeHaan would be fantastic.
Rocha is not. Are you Rocha
No,
or the Outlaw
I'm not
now?
a big
What
fan.
are
No,
you?
I'm not a big. I'm not always the biggest. I mean, Dane really overplayed that in the Spider-Man movies. So when he plays a villain, he does play that face stuff. And
I
See, but I go
mean-
Chronicle. I go
wanna see-
Chronicle.
but I want to see what happens. No, great in Chronicle.
Yeah.
Great in
And
Chronicle.
he's
but
great
but
in
I want to
Shape.
see him Valerian. I want to see what he
Valerian
does
is
in
going to be
Valerian.
the test for him is
Yeah.
what he's going to be doing over the
Yeah.
next 10 years.
Yeah, because he
Yeah.
was in that Soderbergh film that and nobody went to see it.
Right.
The experiment movie that came out.
He's
The Cure
working
for
a-
Wellness, he was good.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
he was
really
very
good.
good at
Yeah.
Cure for Wellness, and he's working with a lot of really high praised directors right now.
Right.
They're after him. They want to work with him.
Yes.
So I
Great.
mean, either he's got great agents or they see the real deal in him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can't really fault Amazing Spider-Man 2. I think that was Sony and pushing their shared universe and a
Right.
script kind of going all over the place and making it cartoonish and where he just kind of played along.
But
so.
we've already seen a young Tom Riddle in the other Harry Potter movies. So
We
they
did,
may
yeah.
bring that actor back, Frank Delane, who played him. So it'd be interesting to see what they do with it. But I agree with you. It should be someone that hasn't played it before. It'd be fun to see that. Who's the kid in Ender's Game? I kind of like that
Asa
kid.
Butterfield.
Asa
I like
Butterfield.
Asa Butterfield. I think he might be an interesting choice to play that part. See, depending on how he looks like now.
Yeah, well, I like Dane DeHaan. That's a good call, Clark. And with that being said, that'll do it for here at Movie Talk. Thanks, guys, for joining us. I really appreciate you coming in and checking us out. Let's go around the table where everybody can be found. Schnepp, let's start with you.
You guys find me on Twitter and Instagram, just at Jon Schnepp. Today, Wednesday, go to your local comic book store, pick up my Slayer comic #2. A lot of fun violence.
All right, and happy birthday, Clarke Wolfe.
Happy
Thanks,
Awesome.
birthday
Happy
to
birthday,
you.
partner.
Thank
I
you,
love
partner.
this.
Thank
And
you.
where can the people find you on your birthday?
You guys can find me on my birthday at Clarke Wolfe, Clarke with an E, Wolf with an E, and you can find me hosting the monthly edition of Collider Nightmares. It's a great show. I'm super proud of it. I want to say thank you to you guys because you guys really tried us out this month. Our numbers are really strong. We could always get them up a little higher, but give us a try. I think you'll like it. And thank you to most of my panel. Perry's not here, but yeah. So check it out. It's up on Collider Video right now.
I second that. Collider Nightmares back and better than ever. How about you, Outlaw? John Rocha, where can they find you?
I third that. I think if you can do that, yeah,
Yeah, you
definitely.
can.
Collider Nightmares. Go watch those shows. The show is fantastic. Here you can find me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. You can see all the shows I'm a guest on. I'm doing a commentary on Rogue One this Friday at Hyper RPG. The Cinephiles, our podcast that I do with my film professor friend Steve Morris. We dropped French Connection last week. We're dropping Armageddon this week as a special favor to me. So that's going to be some fun stuff. And I'll be on Movie Talk for the rest of the week, so I'm excited to be a part of this panel every day for the next 3 days. So thanks so much for watching and following me when you do. Oh, and Charlie Murphy's 57. I'm sorry, not 51.
57 years old. All right. How about you, Ashley Mova? Where can the good kids find you?
Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Ashley Mova. Happy Wednesday, guys.
And Wendy Lee.
On YouTube at the Movie Couple channel, and on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat at Wendy Lee Zaney.
And I'm Mark Reilly, at Reilly Around on Twitter and Instagram. And you can find me on the Schmoes No Main Show most Wednesdays at 7 p.m. live. Collider Nightmares, of course, that was mentioned. And Taking on the Outlaw next Friday, April 24th in the Schmoedown Championship.
Woo!
Let's do it, my friend. That's going to be a barn burner, hopefully. Hopefully I show up here. And guys, we thank you very much for joining us here on Collider Movie Talk. Check out all our videos. Give this one a like if you will. And we'll see you tomorrow here at Collider Video. Thanks for stopping by.
Hey guys, if you like this video, click the thumbs up button. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It'll help you stay up to date with everything we've got going on here at Collider.